The color picker gives you a huge amount of variety when it comes to choosing a color that you want to use in your image. As you know by now, you can use your color slider to change pretty much whatever color you have in the swatch here. But whenever you click on a swatch, for example, I click on the swatch here, or I can click on the swatch here one time, it opens this pretty big dialog box called a color picker. And as you see, we're currently working on our foreground color. And this is the foreground color. And as you see here, this area will be the new color that we play around with, as opposed to this area will be the current color. Now it doesn't look like anything's happening because we haven't done anything yet, so let me go ahead and just move something around here. As you see, in the color field, I moved my mouse and I changed it to see what the new color is as opposed to the current color. Now what I'm going to do is on purpose, I'm going to try to move this around until I see this little warning sign. See that? That's called a gamut warning. And it's pretty much telling you that that's going to be a hard color for your printer to match. You know, the printer at the professional printing place or your printer at home. So what happens is when you see this, click on the little icon, and then Photoshop is going to recommend a color that's pretty much close to what you were trying to achieve, but this color will actually print out. Now, if you're going to be designing things for the web, and you're a traditional web designer, and you want to use those very limited range of colors for the web, what you can do is choose here, only web colors. And that will prevent you from getting the out of gamut warning for the web. And what you're going to do is you're going to get a very limited palette of colors of like 216 colors or 214 colors. And what happens is you're only going to be able to choose from a very limited palette. And these colors are guaranteed to be safe for the web, and they're going to show up exactly the way you want them to appear on the website. Now I'm going to go ahead and deselect that and also show you that we have our color field, as I mentioned earlier, where you can choose the main color or the main hue. And you also have the slider here. And when you choose something in the slider, you can also choose a color. For example, let's say I have a character that's blue. So I'm coloring his face, and then I want to put a shadow. So I would come back to the color picker, and I would move this guy down to change the value of that to something a little darker. Now, we can work in several of different color spaces as well. We can work in the HSB, which is hue, saturation, and brightness. We can work in the RGB color space. We can work in a lab color space. And we can also work in the CMYK, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, which is what your printer at your professional printing press is going to use. So they're going to do the 4-color thing, and they're going to blend all those colors to make the covers or whatever it is that you're trying to print, as opposed to RGB, which is really useful for when you're working on things that are going to be on the computer screen or on a television. Red, green, and blue. These are the colors that your computer mixes together to give you the colors you're looking at right now. So once again, you can work in several of these different color spaces here. Once you find a color that you like, you can add to swatches. You can also open up predefined color libraries that Adobe provides for you based on industry standard color systems such as Pantone. So we have Pantone, we have Toyo, True Match. There's a lot of different systems in this for you, so you can choose whatever you like. And then once again, you can use the slider here to find a range of colors. Then you can choose the color that you want. Now, if you've ever gone to an art store or a graphic design store, you can find these Pantone books, and they're pretty hefty in price, but they will match what you find here. So a client can say, I want the beak of the bird to be Pantone 386C, and you'll be able to find it right here and match that color precisely. So once again, the color picker is very helpful for when you want to really make a custom color. And let's talk about the eyedropper now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my magic wand tool, and I'm going to choose this region of this artwork. And then I'm going to color it something different. So I'm going to choose my color picker, and I'll give it a greenish color. And then I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to choose Fill, Foreground Color. Now I'm going to deselect that. And let's say tomorrow your client says, I want the rest of the house to be the same color. Well, you're like, okay, well, I don't know what that color is, so I'm going to use my magic wand tool, hold down the Shift key, grab the rest of this tan color. And what I could do at this point is, since I don't remember what that color is, I can grab my magic wand tool, or rather the eyedropper tool, and click on that color. And then I can go to Edit, Fill, and then I can fill with that color, and that's what the eyedropper will do. The eyedropper pretty much just will clone or suck up the color that you click on, and then put it as your foreground color, and then you can use that to fill in whatever objects you currently have selected. So using these color tools, you're able to not only choose colors based on your own preferences, but also use those colors to later fill other objects.